Ebanie Bridges, congratulations, first of all, on your victory over Shannon O'Connell, defending your IBF women's bantamweight title on Saturday night in Leeds. A tough fight. Talk me through it.
I mean, you know what? It's going to be tough. I always knew it was going to be tough. She's aggressive, she's wild, she's strong, and she wanted it, and she was angry. So I knew it was going to be tough, but I just knew that my skills, my corner experience, my experience with the whole experience, atmosphere, this kind of stage, my confidence, I just knew my calm, cool, collectedness, non-emotional, I just knew that would beat her. And I just knew I had more heart.
Well, I just thought you were a savage, frankly.
I'm a savage, yeah. Do you know what? I just that talk that she did before the fight, for me, you saw me, Gareth. I'm just there, I'm smiling and laughing and doing my thing, doing the blonde bomber, posing, having fun, laughing, giggling with everyone, because that's what I do. I love all that. And I save that anger, and I draw it in, and I put it in my pocket for when I step through those ropes, because there's no point of me expending this energy trying to be angry and trying to be hard and tough and intimidate my opponent. I'll do that when I step through those ropes and I look at you in the eyes with kill. And that's exactly what I did. When I saw Shannon O'Connell at the beginning of the fight, when we had to touch gloves, she wouldn't even look at me in the eyes. She refused to look at me straight in the eyes. And then when I tapped the gloves, she was weak, and I just knew when I turned around, I walked back to the corner, I knew straight away, now she's in trouble, you
like you say, part of your experience is knowing to maintain that emotional energy till you're in the ring.
Yes.
Were the Tibbs brothers, your team from America, were they unhappy about you taking too many punches?
A little bit at the start. They were, the first few rounds, they're like, just with the right hands and stuff. So then we adjusted, and Mark and Brian both said, start, circling to your right to avoid her right hand, and you could hear Kaylee screaming out, hand up, because I was obviously dropping my left hand a little bit, but we adjusted, and I adjusted that within a round or two. And then that's when I really started to dominate, I think. And you could see, her heart was broken from the second round, third round, and she was done. She didn't want to be there. And that fueled me, and when I see it hurt, I'm like you said, I'm a savage. And when I see an injured, my prey is injured and broken, and her hair's all messy, and she's sad and looking like she doesn't want to be there, that just gives me fuel, so that's when I started to pick it up.
So tell me where you go. It's been a great 2022 for you. You've captured the world title, you've defended it. Tell me where 2023 lies for you. Do you have any injuries? Do you have anything you need to get over? What happens?
Yeah, definitely. I went into that fight with a busted hand. It's very swollen. Half of my camp, I couldn't even use my backhand, my right hand. A lot of my sparring, just left hand sparring, pads left hand, working on other things, because I didn't have my right hand through my camp. But I didn't want to pull out of the fight. So I've got my surgery on Friday to fix my hand. I should have had it in October, but I just couldn't bring myself to pull out. I have to get this girl out of the way. I didn't want to drag her on. I don't want to drag this on any longer. I know I can beat her with one hand. If I have to fight her with one hand, I'll beat her with one hand. I was so confident in myself, confident in my team, and confident in my destiny and what I believe I'm built for, I'm born for, that I just knew no matter what, I was going to win. And it's that self-belief and confidence that I think I take into that fight that I think she lacked as well. So once I have the surgery on my hand, which is booked this Friday, a bit of a recovery, but I know once I've done that, which I need to do, because my plan is to be undisputed. To do that, I need to unify and collect all the belts, and that will be me fighting other champions. Shannon O'Connell was just a mandatory. Any of the other girls, they're just fighters, but I'll be happy to fight other champions, other world champions, and I need to have both hands. I need to be physically fit as much as I can be. So I'm just going to get the surgery out of the way now, get it done. And I think the back end of 2023 is going to be huge for me. 2024 is huge. I'm very excited, Gareth.
Who do you think you'll go towards next? Is there talks already underway? Is the Shannon Courtney rematch there?
Of course. Yeah, look, the Shannon Courtney rematch has obviously been on talk since we had our fights. That's always there. And now that she's kind of, got back in after being out for so long and she doesn't have a belt, she wants to fight as well because she knows. And I think she's kind of grown a little bit and realized that it's not that we need each other, but we'd be silly not to
You're
use
linked.
each other.
You're linked.
We're
yeah.
linked.
Yeah.
And it would be silly not to use it, not to get that payday, that exposure, and have that incredible fight for women's history. So, like I said, I've got my hand injury while I'm recovering from that. I think there is talks of her fighting Nina Hughes, hopefully winning and getting the belt, and then obviously our unification. But I believe I beat them all. I do believe I'm the best in the division. I believe and I know that I will be undisputed. So no matter who I fight, I will be collecting the belts. But obviously the Courtney fight is the biggest fight in the division. If she does really well against Nina and she goes and gets another belt and then I go get another belt and then we do undisputed, that's epic and that's money. That's huge. But,
I know a lot about you behind the scenes, and
yes,
you're a real grafter. I mean, people don't realize that. They think you just strip off for the way in, you do all those.
I'm just a skanky stripper.
Well, but it's people don't know. I've known you for quite a long time now, but you really do graft behind the scenes. And do you think a male boxer, could have come to the UK, who's not British, and captured a fan base like you've managed to do?
I don't think there's very many that have done it before, male or female. British, like a lot of countries, but especially the British, are extremely patriotic, and they always back their fellow countrymen. But it was shown when I fought Shannon Courtney that I had a lot of backing from the British, and they've really adopted me all around, Britain, obviously, and I think the world, to be fair. And I think it's incredible. So, it's great. I'm so blessed.
Because Savannah Marshall's come here this year, her audience has grown. Katie Taylor's audience has grown here. It's been an extraordinary year for women's boxing, hasn't it? And you've obviously been a big part of that as well. Do you feel that mushrooming, that growing all the time?
Of course, 100%. It started with, not to write off people like Jane Couch and all that, but the fact is that it really started with Katie Taylor and Eddie Hearn. Katie Taylor building up Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn building up Katie Taylor. And she was the right boxer with the right skills, the right style to excite the public because she can really fight. And her style is exciting with her speed. And it just started there. And, now that it is getting bigger and bigger. And then you got, our generation, as in the generation of, the Ebanie Bridges, the Clarissa Shields, the Michaela Mayers, and then from, that's out. So it's gone from like Katie, that one girl, to then branching out to like maybe, 5 of us. And then now it's going to branch out to like 10 and it's going to keep going like that. And it's exactly like that. And I think, God, with what we've done, with what women's boxing has become I would say, really in the last 3 or 4 years, 5 max. Like, don't get me wrong, Katie Taylor's been around a lot longer, but it still take her a while to really start building. But especially in the last 3 years, it has been exponential. It's exploded and it's not slowing down anytime soon because women's boxing at the moment has taken over the excitement of men's boxing. People are getting bored of men's boxing and they're all for the women.
Are you still, or do you have to deal with the criticism that you were dealing with before, that, like you say, you wear lingerie at the weigh-in, that you've dropped the F-bombs, you've dropped the Aussie F-bombs now, to a large extent.
I pick and choose.
yeah, pick and choose. But, more appearances on TV. I've had you on a BBC show, Women's Boxing. You've been on Talk Sport with us. You're more prevalent now. You're more well known. You're dealing with it all. Are you still criticised for the way you are or not?
Most definitely still am. And I think the lead up to the last fight, I was criticised a lot because of Shannon O'Connell and her hate and despise against me, saying that because I weigh in lingeries, I have no morals. Does that mean Victoria's Secret models have no morals? Mind you, she's been flipping off people and saying all this. I don't want to go into it, but who's got the morals, right? But then her little fan base and everyone that backed her, and haters against me, they still on her side with all of that. But I mean, I thought I proved it in the Courtney fight. I thought I proved it against in the Roman fight. More respect as the fights go on. Last fight, I don't know what more I can do. I don't know what more I can do. And I just, not that I'm out here trying to get the respect or try and get, no haters, because I think when you're successful, it comes with it. The more success you have, the more fans you have, but the more hate you have, no matter what. I think I've definitely helped normalize the femininity and the laundry. I've normalized it. You've seen it, Gareth. You've mentioned it to me before. A lot more people are doing it. People all over Twitter, Ebanie, look at the trends you've set, right? But they don't get what I get. They still don't get dismissed for it. I still get dismissed. They don't even get it doesn't even get noticed for them. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think you should be getting credit for it rather than being criticized for it?
No, I feel like it's still a bit both. I definitely get the credit for it. A lot of people in the fans, they do tweet or tag me and they go, look what you've started, or look what you've done, or in a good way, and I do get that. And I love that. I think it's great that I've been able to show another side and let women embrace themselves and feel sexy, and who cares what people say, and you know what I mean? We should be able to want to feel nice and pretty. Like, we don't have to jump on the scales with our hair all mess and looking frumpy. You don't have to do that. But if you want to do that, that's fine. But we don't all have to be the same. But I'm not there, I'm not there to get the credit. I'm just here to be doing me, but it does make me smile. It makes me happy that I've helped empower women to embrace that. I think it's important that we do, especially in a male-dominated sport. We don't have to be like the men to be respected. And like I said in the video, I don't know if it was an interview before my fight, I said, I tweeted it. I will never call women's boxing because we are women's boxing. It is women's boxing. And I know there's all these people saying, oh, don't call it women's boxing. It's boxing. We're all boxing. It's all the same. No, be proud to be a female fighter. Be proud of women's boxing, because right now what we're doing as women. We're being exciting. We're fighting each other. We're doing the trash talk, and we're holding boxing on at the moment because the boys aren't fighting each other. So be proud to be called women's boxing, because it is a different sport, like, so to speak, and I'm proud of that, and I don't think we should lose that, So yeah, I'm very proud of
your social media's grown enormously now. I'm not sure how many followers you have on Instagram and Twitter, but it's grown enormously, hasn't it? And you've kind of harnessed that for sponsorship and business and OnlyFans and all those things.
Yes.
And you've got your own ways with all of that.
Yeah.
But are most of your fans men?
Yeah, most of my fans are men, but most women. I mean, boxing fans in general is 80%. Well, we used to be 90% men, but now I would say it's about 75 to 80% men. But because you have women like me, and other women that are very feminine, and other women that have characters and are coming out, other women are seeing other women fight that are exciting to watch and have good characters. So I'm fans as well. I have my male fans that will say, oh, my wife loves you. She never watched boxing before, but she loves you. My wife loves you, or my daughters love you. You know what I mean? I don't even watch boxing. So
the whole family can come and watch you, basically.
Exactly. Like, I will be walking down the street, wherever in Leeds, or even here in Essex, and, the husband will get a photo of me, or the wife will come up to me and she's like, oh, my husband really wants to get a photo with you. Can he get a photo with you? I'm like, yeah. And then she'll take a photo with me. And then, she'll take a photo with me and him. And then she'll, oh, can I get one too? Like, everyone, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just men or women, but of course on the social media, it is more men. But that's also just because in general, I think boxing is still a male-dominated sport, but it's coming along.
Yeah.
It is coming along, and being a bit more mainstream as I am, I think I'm still more, my look and everything and my banter and the way I am is definitely more appealing to men. And I'm not going to deny that. But look, as long as people are watching.
Absolutely. Listen, it's great to speak to you as always. Keep pinching yourself, because it is real.
I know.
You are doing it. But the bottom line, Ebanie, and I sat here with my partner on Saturday night, and she was absolutely gripped with the fight, and you won her over as well. And you're winning people over all the time. The bottom line is, whatever you do outside the ring, you're doing it in the ring. Because you just give it all. And we know that. It's there. The evidence is there. Your body of work is there. I think you're a very brave fighter. As I say, I call you the little savage, because, like, you know, no, because you've only got one gear, which is seek and destroy, isn't it? You know,
Exactly.
I'm sure Mark and his dad, the brilliant Tibbs, who I've known for many years, I'm sure they're trying to pull you back sometimes until
Sometimes.
they say, leashes off,
But
go finish your opponent, you know?
But to be fair, the fight on the weekend, it was like I was a pit bull and they just let
You
the
were.
leash and
Yeah.
they go get her, go
Yeah.
get her, go destroy her, go break her heart. And that's the style we had to do against her, because we knew she was like not mentally strong, not mentally ready for what I could
thought
bring,
she
my
was
power,
tough.
my
I
presence.
thought she was tough. She
I
came back
knew.
twice in that fight.
Oh, you know, to be fair, she did. She was tough.
She was
Us
tough.
Aussies don't give up easy. Do you know what I mean? They don't give up. But I could feel it and I could see it in her eyes that she really didn't want to be there. I reckon if her corner pulled her out, she wouldn't have had a problem with it, because she was getting it. You know what I mean? But she wouldn't go down. And then yeah, I mean, look,
No,
it keeps replaying
it
in my
was
head,
it
and I
was a
can't stop
merciful
laughing.
stoppage in the
Yeah,
end. I
love.
think it was Howard
Yeah.
Foster, wasn't it? It was a merciful stoppage.
Howard Foster. Yeah.
It was. Brilliant 2022. Many congratulations, onwards and upwards for you in 2023, and some massive fights for you.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Gareth. It's always a pleasure, and God bless. I'm looking forward to the next one.